danger, excitement, exotic locations, spiky boobs. For over 20 years, gamers have been enjoying Lara Croft's adventures on the PlayStation 1. But more often than not, the stiff controls are being criticized, to which I say, yeah, they're kinda stiff, but it's not that hard to learn them. On the PlayStation 1, every Tomb Raider game had tutorials, which teach you the basic moves and controls with ease. But are these training levels worth playing? That's what we're about to find out as we go through every training level of the PlayStation 1 Tomb Raider games, from worst to best, according to this guy. Let me just start by saying that I absolutely despised this level. As a kid, I loved running around Lara's mansion and finding secrets in the previous games. Maybe they were running out of ideas and therefore tried to change it up a bit, but this was not the right way to do it in my opinion. My major gripe with this level is that Werner,
your creepy mentor, yeah?
Interesting, yeah?
is interrupting the gameplay constantly, explaining every basic thing to young Lara.
Now press and hold action. When you are hanging from the ledge, hold down crawl to squeeze into the gap.
Imagine if someone in real life gave you this kind of instruction. Push action. Hold forward. The worst part about it is that you can't even skip the dialogue. I know the controls. I've played Tomb Raider games on the PS1 for over 20 years. Why should I have to listen to this? Of course, new players might find it helpful to get some guidance, but make it optional so that experienced players don't get bored from the get-go. Unskippable tutorials are always a chore, and this might be the first instance where I ever got sick of it in a video game. On the plus side, it was interesting to play as young Lara for a change, and it set up the dynamics of the relationship between her and Werner quite nicely. The level itself shows us some new mechanics like rope climbing. Plus, this is the level with the most secrets in the whole game, so there's that. My favorite part of Cambodia is the second part, called Race for the Iris, where your skills get put to the test, giving you two possible outcomes depending on who wins the race.
Screw this game.
If you go to the left at the start of the game, you'll get to a training area. The area itself is nothing special, and with the exception of walking across a rope, there's really nothing new here. But that's not too bad, considering that this whole section is optional. Well, except for the fact that there is a secret at the end of it, so you kind of have to do it anyways if you're going for all the secrets. What I like about it is that unlike its predecessor, the game doesn't stop to tell you what to do. Lara speaks as you play.
Zum Schwimmen spring ins Wasser.
That's how it was in the first 3 games, and that's how it should be. Sadly, Lara's mansion is nowhere to be seen again, but that's forgivable considering at which point of Lara's life we're at in this game. You all know what happened at the end of Tomb Raider 4, right? This was my very first 3D gaming experience when I was 7 years old. The sheer possibility of running around in a giant mansion full of climbable boxes while hearing a crystal clear voiceover by the lovely Shelley Blonde suddenly became the greatest thing ever.
Use the D-pad to go into the music room.
Taking control of Lara and just jumping around like a maniac was almost too much for my little brain to handle. The training area got you prepared for your adventures to come, and I always enjoyed this section a lot. By now, it's pretty much pointless for me to even go there, and it only takes me about 5 minutes to complete the whole thing. But every once in a while, I come back for nostalgic reasons, to reminisce about the past and to take a swim in this magnificent pool.
Now I'd better take off these wet clothes.
Yes, please. This training level set the standard for all training levels to come. For the first time, not only the mansion is fully explorable, but also the garden. You start off with some kind of parkour while you race against the clock for the best possible time.
Congratulations, you did it.
Inside the mansion, you'll notice that the training area and the boxes are gone. Instead, you can dance to some classical music. You'll soon notice that your farting butler is following you around everywhere. And I mean everywhere. So he kind of deserves to die in the fridge. He does die in there, right? Exploring is the best part of Lara's home. I mean, there's a freaking labyrinth in her garden, and as a kid I heard stories of treasures and gold being somewhere inside of it. One day I finally found the secret entrance and the switch, which opens a door in the mansion. And boy, is it hard to get back through the door in time, as you have to make it through pretty much perfectly before the door closes. But when you finally do it, you will not be disappointed. If you liked Lara's home in the second game, you'll love Tomb Raider 3's version of it. This is the pinnacle of training levels. It's a combination of the first two games in the sense that you have the parkour outside and the training area inside, with slight changes when it comes to the addition of the new moves like crawling. Your butler somehow survived your murder attempts from the previous game. So why not lock him in again? Anyways, at the end of the parkour you find your guns, which is a first. So let's shoot at some targets. But wait, what is that? Winston! How did you get out of the freezer? That's it, you're gonna die.
Finally, you got what you deserved, you stalking piece of goddamn shit.
Oh my god, he's invincible. But why is this the best of the bunch? Exploration. At the swimming pool there is a button you can push, which opens up a secret door with another switch, which opens up another secret door, which again closes almost immediately, so you have to make use of your new running ability to get there in time. It is here that we find out that Lara just casually has the head of a T-Rex hanging over her fireplace. It's cool to see the artifacts from previous adventures on display. One day a friend of mine told me about a book you can pull from a shelf in order to get to a secret place. I thought he was just straight up lying to me, but then I looked for it and holy shit, it actually exists. You climb up, push a block, pull a switch and run to the secret door we already knew from the second game. Again, you have to be pretty much perfect to make it in time. Apparently, Lara invested her gold into a giant aquarium. Neat. Inside you'll find a key which opens the gate to the labyrinth, which has been rebuilt into a quad bike racing track. This is just awesome. I've spent countless hours exploring the mansion and finding all the secrets, and to me, this is the best tutorial level I have ever played. I guess this was hard to top, so they tried different things with the next two games. Ultimately, it's nice to have the option of playing a tutorial, but for experienced players, there's literally no point of having it to be unskippable. Tomb Raider 2 and 3 provide enough content to make these levels fun, as they give you plenty of stuff to explore and test your skills against the clock. Now if only I could find a way to kill Winston. So I was just about to re-record some footage for the Tomb Raider 4 part of this video, since I was missing something. And then I found out by a complete freak accident that you actually can skip the tutorials. How? Not by pushing a button, no, by holding L1. Yeah, holding it. How was I supposed to know that? That doesn't work on any other cutscene in the game. So you're telling me that after almost 20 years, this is how I found out about it? By just randomly holding L1 and being able to skip this part? How much time have I wasted listening to Werner's bullshit all the time? Man, I hate the game and I hate myself for it. God damn it!
GFrom, the gamer, the legend, he's come to show you the way in this world of games. GFrom reviews.
We all know the history behind it, but it's mind-blowing how many superb games have been released in a time span of about 30 years.